Hey, in this video, I want to show you how our quality of earnings report sniff test service saved this company over $1 million in a potential acquisition of a small business that they were looking to buy. So in this scenario, this was a buyer that was looking to acquire a roofing company, and they provided me with the SIM from the seller, kind of the listing of the business for sale. And in that, the seller's broker had put together, their earnings, and the earnings over the last 3 years were $428,000 in 2020, $1.4 million in 2021, and then back down to $533,000 in 2022. Now, what the broker did was they took a 3-year average of the earnings to set kind of the initial baseline, and then they applied a multiple of 3.5 times earnings to come up with a list price of $2.8 million. Now, in this particular case, this business was a roofing company, and 2021, there was a large storm in the area, a hailstorm that did a bunch of damage to, tens of thousands of roofs, homeowners throughout the region. And so this was kind of like a once in a lifetime thing, and that coupled with a lot of stimulus money happening in 2021, they just had a banner year. You can see 3 times normal earnings compared to the years on either side, right? So conveniently, the broker was taking the average of the 3 years to come up with that baseline to apply a multiple. So when I got in and did the analysis, that really stuck out to me, and I thought, well, first of all, 2021 isn't going to happen again, right? And so I'm not sure we want to be basing our multiple on that average, right? And so instead I said, all right, let's take 2022 earnings. That's the most recent earnings. Let's take that instead. And then I wanted to make sure that the multiple that they were using was right for the industry. And so I used Biz Buy Sell, and I've got a link here, and I'll show you this site here. So Biz Buy Sell has this industry valuation multiple page that's really helpful. It will go through a whole bunch of different industries and tell you what's the typical multiple of earnings. And so again, this was a roofing business, and so I used this electrical and mechanical contracting business was pretty close. HVAC, plumbing is all kind of, residential contractors. They're all around this 2.5, 2.6, 2.4. So I said, well, I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt, and we'll give them the HVAC multiple, give them a 2.6. And so when we did that, the adjusted price, 2.6 times the 533,000, the adjusted price was 1.3 million instead of 2.8. So the savings of the kind of adjusted valuation there was $1.4 million, all because they were using a 3-year average on SDE, but there was 1 year that just did not make sense. And so this is just a simple reason why you want to get a quality of earnings report done. I find a ton of value in that, because as a buyer, you may not know what's reasonable and whether you should normally take a 3-year average. I mean, it sounds pretty reasonable in normal circumstances. So, the seller's broker made a good case for it in the SIM, but I think what I realized was, that's not going to happen again. So we can't use that data to value the business. And I don't think that deal ended up getting done, because I think the seller's expectations were probably way too high. But if the buyer would have paid that 2.8, and they may have been able to, they might have been able, it looked really tight on cash flow, but with a big enough seller's note and enough equity in the deal, they might have been able to get it done with an SBA loan, and they would have overpaid $1.4 million. So there you have it. A simple, less than $1,000 quality of earnings sniff test report can save over $1 million. So we've put a link in the description of the video below to our quality of earnings sniff test. If you want us to take a look at a deal that you're looking at, we'd be happy to do that. And can't promise I'll save you $1 million, but we'll try to hopefully find some opportunity for savings for you and keep you out of a bad deal. So if you have any questions, reach out to us at support@ProjectionHub.com. Thanks.